Go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Vegas Life Real Estate Podcast. My name is Chris Cash.
A1 Alan Turner, the Rhythm Realtor.
Kevin Sherba, 20-year mortgage veteran.
There he is, and that you are, sir. Rhythm, we missed you last week. How are you?
Actually, I was here last week.
You're right.
Earlier in the week.
But
yeah,
I got you.
I missed you guys too.
But you're good?
Yeah, you're good? Everything good?
A little up and down.
A little up and down?
I'm still here. I'm fighting.
Still here?
Fighting the good fight.
Right. How has the first month of real estate in 2025 been treating you?
So far so good. I was able to pay my dues, so I'm still a realtor to,
Nice.
still able to sell houses for one more day or 3 more months.
Good job.
Until the next re-up.
Good job.
Okay.
Yeah, just up and down, going through it with a couple rental clients. And, I had that seller that decided not to sell.
Oh,
yeah, that's always a bummer. So you had like a listing that just fell through?
Another listing that I got undercut on.
Oh, so he did still sell, but just not
was
with
it the
you.
Same guy? That was the same guy or no?
Oh, that's tough.
It's 2 different people.
Oh, that's okay. You'll be all right, man.
I remember you telling us about the one that you got undercut on.
Yeah. Undercut. Yeah.
So they got a couple offers. They're in counters right now. So I'm gonna get the relocation. I'm gonna help them buy where they're going
once
next.
they sell.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the topic of the show is how do we turn renters into buyers, or just have people see the perspective of the value of owning something. Like that's what I really like to push all the time, is like, you got to own something. You got to be able to have an asset or something tangible. Right. Certain cases it's not necessary, like if you're moving around or you're not sure if you're going to stay in a certain place, because owning a house is a huge responsibility. You got to be ready for it. So if you're not ready for it, don't do it. You know what I mean? But if you know you're going to be here, everything is stable, you might as well lock it in and have something that's going to appreciate in the future.
Yeah.
Well, so hey, you were talking about that you were working with some renters, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, let's talk about that. Like, what was the hurdles that you ran into with those rentals?
There were some credit challenges.
Okay.
There was some, the term and the length of time that they've spent in the city.
Right.
So they're still unsure if they want to be here. Is that an objective here?
No. From the owners.
They wanted more.
Yeah,
they wanted more
time.
Like what? 2 years? 3 years?
Typically, yeah.
Right. Because most people don't want to sign on for more than a year usually.
Right.
And then there was a bank account savings issue, and I was like, they're not purchasing, they're only renting, so I don't know why that's
the reason why I wanted to bring it up is because to qualify for a rental property is sometimes more difficult than qualifying for a mortgage.
Wow.
Yeah. That's crazy.
They want like 3 times the income, right? 3 times the rent,
which
for
wasn't
income.
an issue, but the fact that he brought up the savings was just odd to me.
Yeah, they wanted assets, right? So the owner, they can be as picky as they want. So there's no standard with the owner. You know what I mean? That's why it kind of sucks sometimes.
Right.
Because the owner can be super duper,
particular.
Like, very, very, like, you're not going to qualify for my house. You could buy a house before you qualify to rent mine,
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Right.
Yeah. Be like that though,
So that's I wanted to bring that up just to specify that if you're out there and you're trying to rent, I mean, the only place that you're going to rent there where it's going to be easy and it's pretty much the same across the board is apartments.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like SFR, like renting a condo or renting a house where you want your family to, have a garage, have a yard, whatever the case, it's going to be harder than buying it if you can believe that.
No, it's true. And also, like, the security deposits that they're asking for as well is like
crazy.
As much for earnest money deposit.
Right. Like $5,000,
exactly.
$6,000. Yeah.
Like,
it's usually like the first, usually, I mean, depending on if they have a, dog or cat or whatever the case. But yeah, it's used to be like first and last month's rent. But now it's like first and last month's rent plus $2,000.
Yeah. Key deposit, cleaning deposit. Yeah. So, I mean, with that, if you're going to go through all that trouble, if you can pay up to, $2,400 in rent, why
Let's see what
wouldn't
you qualify for, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Why wouldn't you see what you qualify for?
Right.
Yeah. So this just in, Trump recently just said he demands the interest rates to go down, or demands the
Oh, you
mortgage rates
just
to go down.
opened up Pandora, bro.
Yeah,
Why'd you do it?
I mean, that's what he said.
I know.
So
But he says a lot. Remember,
Yeah.
he's a wheeler and dealer. So
yeah,
what he's doing is he's saying some crazy ass shit out there, so that people like,
yeah,
you know, like, what is he actually going to do? Because that's how you. I mean, I don't know if you've ever read The Art of the Deal, but you scare him first
Right.
with crazy shit,
Yeah,
and he kind of looks like a lunatic when he does stuff like
yeah,
that.
but it works.
But people end up falling right in line, as you've seen.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he gets the emotions involved.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So he like rips the Band-Aid off. Like, he can't technically make the Fed lower the rates,
No.
but so he talks strongly, right?
yeah,
Like, hey, I'm going to demand that rates come down. But really, his idea, and this is my take on it, is that he's going to make energy cheaper, right?
Okay.
Oil will come down, which means that the reason why we're paying a lot for groceries and stuff like that, inflation as a whole, is energy. People are paying more to ship their goods.
Yeah.
Therefore, they have to raise the prices, right?
Right.
So it costs more to operate a lot of these companies because of oil prices being up, gas prices being expensive. So once he gets that done, then he's thinking that, well, that's a big part of inflation anyway, is energy. So if he gets that portion of inflation down, then the Fed is going to be at their 2% target or lower, and they can lower rates.
yeah.
So that's what he's actually doing versus just telling Jerome Powell, you better lower rates. You know? that's just for shock and awe.
You know, sometimes you got to shock and awe.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to move the needle.
Right.
Yeah, you know, you got to move the needle. With that being said, you guys got to get ready to buy a house. You know what I mean? Like, people got to get ready to
Yeah,
you know.
the change is already happening on a lot of fronts. And not to bring up something negative, but the LA thing, like these fires, man.
Yeah.
Especially here in Las Vegas. If we were didn't have a whole lot of homes for sale before, and we had people moving from LA before, it's only going to increase. This next spring season, people are going to be like, I don't want to live where my house can catch on fire.
Yeah, very true.
So, you know, I'm going to move to Vegas.
Yeah. So what do you say to the people that feel that Vegas doesn't have enough jobs?
That's a big one. Like, in what way? I mean,
I don't know. Just a common comment. There's no jobs,
Right.
but maybe they're not in the industry that is hiring. So I don't.
true. I mean, if you work for the state of California, because that's what jobs are in California.
Right.
That's the problem in California
Yeah.
is all the jobs
Yeah.
there are government jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, if obviously we don't have a whole bureaucracy
Yeah.
here of government because
True.
we keep it small and smart.
Yeah.
But if you have a government job and you work for the state of California, you're not moving here
Yeah. That makes sense.
unless they allow you to work remote.
That-
But I'm sure if they're paying you out of the tax dollars, they're going to want you to pay the California 10%
So you
state
can't,
tax.
and you can't work remotely if you're federal, right? You can still
Well, not
work
anymore.
remotely if you're state. You can work remotely,
depending on the state, yeah,
but
whatever.
not federally.
Yeah, no, all of the government, like federal agencies, are on notice as of this week to go back into the office or you're fired.
Man,
Damn.
You kick off your PJs, put on some slacks,
And you get back to work.
get back to the office.
Because there's probably 10 times more employees that the federal government's paying right now that weren't doing a whole lot of work. I mean, they were at home, they logged in, hang out, party.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Lifestyle for sure. Definitely lifestyle.
He's like, you know what? Let me get one of those government jobs.
It's not a choice.
No,
It's a lifestyle.
but yeah, I think that with the fires and everything and people being displaced in Southern California, it's only going to make our market more expensive because we're going to have way more buyer demand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the rental market is certainly shifted as well.
Right.
Because a lot of places that were just sitting for 30, 40 days
They're
are
getting
gone
snatched
now.
up.
They're
Right.
all gone.
And I don't know what it is, but everybody seems to move to Las Vegas when it's like spring and summer. Like when it's hot,
Yeah, it's tough.
that's when it's like you have no rental properties available.
Right, right. I really think Vegas is the spot to be at. You know what I mean? I really think it's becoming the place that is just gonna appreciate over time. And if you just don't get in now, and you know how you have those friends that you try to tell them stuff and they just never do it.
Right.
You know, like I think that's what it is right now because we've been telling people, hey,
Move here.
move, get in right now.
That's what I keep telling people too. I mean, family and friends from California.
Yeah.
They're all like bitching about I need to get out of California, right?
And be like, hello.
But I'm always like, all right, we'll move to the desert. It's great. Trust me.
Yeah.
Like they're like, I can't do it. You know, they're
Can't-
like looking at like the South or they're looking at like Texas and they're looking at that.
What's the reason
all
why
that's expensive.
What's the reason why they can't do it?
Well, people from Northern California, like you got lakes, rivers, trees, grass. It's like it's
That's
literally just because it's a desert. They're worried about like, am I going to be depressed because I look outside and it's just brown mountains.
No. Actually, the mountains is quite majestic.
Well, you don't know that until you've lived here for a while.
Right.
You know, those late nights early mornings when you come home from the club and you're driving and you see the mountains, it's just a magical thing.
Our sunsets and sunrises here are criminally underrated.
Right.
No, it is. No,
Not
it's,
only
it's
that, but like
beautiful.
when it gets snow capped too.
Oh yeah.
And then like you have a day
beautiful.
that's like 75 degrees and the
yeah.
snow is still on the mountains. It's super, super awesome.
And little do people know, there's Mount Charleston that's 40 minutes away.
To get away from the heat if
And
you need to.
it's beautiful up there. It's a whole mountain. It's not too hot. It's not too cold.
And it's on the smaller side. It's like, people that are used to like going to like Lake Tahoe, like people that live in California, if they want to go skiing and stuff, they go to Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
That's a huge area, right?
Yeah.
Mount Charleston's like a little tiny,
Yeah.
tiny,
Yeah. It's like a little playground.
I mean, but it's deceptive though, because there's like different little spots and stuff that you can still travel to. It's not the biggest, but there's enough.
It's literally like we have Paris Hotel. Paris is literally like a mini version of
everything that you need to be.
Yeah,
you don't got to go anywhere. You just go to the strip and you can see different.
See New York. You see the Bellagio. Is that a place?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you got the pyramids. You got Luxor.
You know what I mean? Like it's
You
similar.
got the pyramids.
It's similar to that.
You don't have to go to Egypt.
Yeah.
Just go to the strip.
exactly.
Boom.
It's got a
very
Bud Light sticker on it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is actually pretty cool. It is pretty amazing. Yeah.
No, but yeah, I do think that it's going to get worse. I think that when I say worse, I mean less homes for sale.
Yeah.
So people that want to get in, especially when it's still cold and there's less buyers on the market. Do you have an update for us today? Like as far as homes and stuff?
I do.
So we'll get that later in the program. But I'm sure if I had to guess, I'm going to put this out there before we take our little break.
Okay.
But, I'm thinking that there's more inventory. Houses are staying on the market for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And I'm just assuming that because of the time of year and because rates came back up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see. We'll have to find out.
We'll find out next on the show.
On the Vegas Life Podcast. All right, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with more.
All right, man.
All right.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Chris Cash, your go-to Las Vegas realtor, here with something special for all my Vegas fans, real estate enthusiasts, and anyone curious about the Vegas lifestyle.
I'm Alan Turner, the Rhythm Realtor, and together we're the hosts of Vegas Lifestyle Podcast. Each week, we're bringing you inside the Vegas real estate market, top neighborhood profiles, and all the lifestyle tips you won't want to miss.
So if you're thinking about buying your first home here, we got you. Want the scoop on the best neighborhoods? We got that covered.
And we're even spotlighting celebrity homes, health and wellness in the city, interviewing some of the best experts around. Trust us, you don't want to miss this.
So if you're ready to explore Las Vegas beyond the Strip,
hit that follow button and subscribe to the Vegas Life Podcast on all your favorite platforms.
we'll see you on the Vegas Live Podcast.
And we are back to the Vegas Life Real Estate Podcast. My name is Chris Cash.
A1 Alan Turner, the Rhythm Realtor.
Yeah.
Kevin Sherba, GFL Capital Mortgage Professional.
Capital.
Very-
Capital.
So yeah, there's going to be an increase of people coming to Las Vegas. I have a notion.
You have a crystal ball.
No, I don't have a crystal ball. It's just because, like, we live the life, baby. Like, you know what I mean? Everything you could possibly want is here. We almost 24/7.
We
you know,
talk about pros and cons. We did a whole show on that,
yeah,
right?
pros and cons.
Pros and cons.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's more pros and cons.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially with all these like natural disasters happening.
Yeah.
If you live on the East Coast, you're covered in snow.
Mm-hmm.
If you live on the Southeast Coast, you have hurricanes every year.
Yeah.
If you live in Southern California, you have to worry about fires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not to mention earthquakes. Knock on wood, we haven't had a whole bunch of that. But
yeah.
what do you have to worry about here? Just being
Hot.
just being hot for 3 months.
It's extremely hot.
Yeah.
Right.
That's about it. What else? Is there anything
Heat
else?
stroke.
Heat stroke. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's about it. Because it does get pretty hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's about it. You know, you have 2 months, 3 months of heat.
It's like
extreme
2.5 months.
But you got Lake Mead.
Right.
heat. Nobody.
Got the Colorado
Yeah.
River.
Ain't nobody going
Nobody
there.
goes in
Ain't
there,
nobody
bro.
going
Got
there.
community pools. You might have a pool on your property.
You have plenty of casino pools.
Yeah. Well,
And I don't want to, tell anybody any secrets, but they don't really watch the door at the casino pools.
yeah, you just gotta know
Right.
somebody.
You
Hi.
could just,
You know me.
I mean, one time we went to the M pool,
Yeah.
And we had our towels and stuff, and we just walked right by where you're supposed to pay and went in the pool.
Yeah. And then one thing about being a local, you're gonna know people, and then you're gonna just find your ways to get into all these little perks that you know what I mean. So that's one thing I do like about being a local is just because we live in the vacation, baby. Like you know what I mean. Like you're gonna know somebody that works at a casino or a resort or something, and then be like, yeah, just come through.
Well, also you can snag somebody's cart, their keys too.
Oh, yeah.
Their door keys.
Yeah.
Like on the way out.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just joking.
Well, I mean, like you're checking, they're checking out. You're not going to be using it.
You
So
can
hey,
snatch
like
an ATM card too, right?
Yeah, could I use your door keys?
No, I'm just joking.
Because
I would do that.
It's typically
I do that
free
all the
for
time.
hotel guests, so you just grab their keys and.
It sounded funny though.
No,
you could just snag somebody's car keys, take the car.
I know it came out wrong.
Yeah. No, what I used to do when I was a club promoter, I would just be partying with people, and they'd be like, "Yeah, we're leaving tomorrow." I was like, "Oh, let me borrow your card."
Yeah.
Easy.
Boom.
Right.
In there.
That way it's not fraud.
But also too, it is free there are spots that are free for locals.
Yes, there's tons of spots.
I just meant if you need to cool off, there's. We probably have more pools in a 10-mile radius than anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I usually just stay in the AC. So.
Yeah, you stay in your office, you stay in your car.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, you're going to die walking to your car maybe if you don't have enough water in your system, but just park near the building. Yeah. It'll be fine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're having like big expansions and big master plan communities that are coming up. Have you heard about the northwest side of Las Vegas, Kyle Canyon? They're building more houses, they're building more communities, and word out the street is that they are building another Stations Casino over there in that corner over there.
Station Casino's coming up.
Yeah, ever
since
they
closed down the one in what was it called? The one in Old
Fiesta?
Henderson? Yeah.
They closed that one down?
R.I.P.
Yep.
That's in Henderson, right?
Yeah, off of Lake Mead Parkway.
Yeah, they got rid of that one. I think it closed down during COVID, and they never reopened it. And I think it's because they planned to
open
somewhere else,
like the newer area, probably.
Yeah. And one thing that's great about there is really close to the mountain, like Mount Charleston. I like going there. It's fun. I go
be their
snowboarding.
Spokesperson.
I would if I could.
We need to make that happen.
I think we should do a Mount Charleston field trip show.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I think the lodge is open too. It just reopened, so we can.
We'll do Mount Charleston. We'll go snowboarding.
Oh, the one that burned down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But my only gripe about that place though is that cell phone service is just horrible over there.
Well, it is like a mountain. There's trees. And
they should figure that out by now, right? Don't you think?
You just put one right on top of the mountain.
See, I typically have that. I said that,
But it's 2025, right?
Until I went to Bryan Head
and had full bars.
I was, hey, where you at, bro? Like,
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Figure it out, Mount Charleston. Yeah. Figure it out.
Well, it also depends on the carrier. I know that like out here, when I moved out here, people that have Verizon in California were like, oh yeah, it's the best coverage, this and that. When they moved out here, it was not the best coverage.
Yeah.
I think it's T-Mobile.
Yeah, it's weird. T-Mobile is actually better in the valley than Verizon.
Yeah.
Man, we are blowing up a whole bunch of people on this show.
I know.
You have to bleep out blowing up the casinos, about saving cards. I mean,
we're not blowing anything up. We're just giving
money coming.
We're giving the real Vegas life
coming our way.
Vegas life, real. All right, I'm gonna just give them a tip. All right, here's a tip: when you go to Las Vegas and you gamble, you get free drinks. Do not pay for your drinks. You get them for free.
Hey, you know what? We all know to do that, right?
We know.
But one time, no, this is what's cool. You want to put like a 20 in.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe even 100. And you play it slow until the bartender can see you playing.
Yeah.
But there is something that, I mean, you feel like you can like get over on them, but they have like a little meter down on the bottom under the game where it shows how much you've actually played.
Yeah.
So they'll ignore you if you don't play at least. What you do is you play about $10.
Okay.
The drinks are usually 30.
Yeah.
35 if you're like getting cocktails on the strip.
Yeah.
So you just play $10 nice and slow and get going.
Yeah, I have no discipline. I just
it's going in.
All of a sudden it's like $100 and he's like, I could have got a drink for 20. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I say that so many times. That's why I had to stop gambling, bro. Like, I say that so many times. I'm like, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna just have a drink.
$500 later.
Honey,
I'm feeling this. Next one.
Oh my God.
I'm feeling it. I got the next one.
And then it gets to the point where like, do you want to drink? I was like, no. I don't want to drink.
That does happen too.
Yeah.
You go in there to have a drink and it ends up being the drug of choice is the gambling part.
Yeah, yeah. And it is a drug because I try to gamble sober thinking that the liquor was the reason why I gambled all my money.
And you're like, man, I still have the same high right now. And I'm at the ATM pulling more money. Like,
yes, absolutely.
Right.
So I guess that's another con for Vegas if you can't control yourself.
And we talked about that before.
Yeah.
That you have to be ready to have your first year in Vegas, and you're either going to make it or you're not, because you're gonna explore all of that, and it's about coming out on the other side and either learning from it or you might waste all your money and have to move back.
For the people who have that problem, I have the solution. All I do is I go here to the podcast, I go to the gym, and then I go home.
Boom.
That's it.
Come hang with us.
Right.
And then I hang with him. He tells me about all his gambling, sports betting. So I load up my account, lose a bunch of money.
And then you're like, why'd you do it?
And then that's what it is. So yeah.
So the other thing is I want to talk about some pros. We talked about summertime. That's a con, right?
Yeah.
I guess if people don't want to, deal with 110 plus for 2 months. But
it can.
Okay, go ahead.
Or it can be a pro because when it's hotter, women have to take off their clothes more.
Pool parties, yes.
Yeah.
Not only that, but if you buy a house with a pool here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got 2 full months of like backyard barbecue pool time.
Yeah.
When I lived in California, it was like we'd have to wait for a heat wave for it to be comfortable to be in the pool all day. Because if it's 90 and your pool's like 78 degrees, it's still a little chilly
Right.
when you get out of it. But here, man, it's like,
all
the
day.
pool. Sometimes you need an ice cubes for the pool.
And the winters are
That's what I was going to say.
extremely mild. I mean, for California cats, it's cold for us.
Right.
But I was just in Utah. It was 5 degrees. Came back here. It was like 40. I was like, oh, this is beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
This is beautiful.
I
This is
did
wonderful.
the Christmas in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And so one thing that I noticed about here that we're spoiled with is sunny days. Regardless if it's hot or if it's cold, you won't know. I backed out of my driveway a couple days back, and it was funny because I'd been in Sacramento for like a week for Christmas and the New Year's week, but it was gray the whole time.
Yeah.
The sun never came out. And then when I came back here, it was, I don't know, the other day it was a cold morning. And I back out of my driveway and the car was warmed up and everything, and I backed out and I was like, it looks like it could be a spring day right now. Like the way it looks is like springtime, and then you realize, you look at the thing on your car and you're like, it's 35 degrees outside.
Yeah.
Very deceptive.
But at least it's sunny, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And we can actually grow stuff here, right? Like we had the
Who did we talk to that said that they grew tomatoes
Daisy,
and
they grew
stuff?
tomatoes. Do you know what if we can grow stuff? You don't know?
Really?
You
I mean, she was doing it. She had a garden in her backyard.
she had a
I
whole
think.
thing.
I think in Henderson you can have chickens too.
Chickens.
Yeah.
I don't eat meat, bro. What do you mean?
I mean, eggs are like.
kidding.
Are you really trying that? Are you attempting to cut out the meat?
I might have to. Nah, probably not. I don't know.
Talking about eggs.
Oh.
Because eggs are like $10 for a dozen.
Oh yeah.
So
They are expensive.
grow your own eggs.
He was like, I was talking about inflation, man.
Oh, yeah.
Missed the
Exactly.
boat on that one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You
No.
can have eggs, and I think you can have chickens in Henderson.
Yeah. Okay. Can you?
You'd probably need to check
think
your
so.
HOA bylaws.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm
that'd be
sure in
cool.
Kentucky,
Definitely.
Yeah.
You can.
you can have a whole farm over there.
I want to have a farm. That's what I want to do. I want to just have a whole farm. I want to be self-sufficient. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
you're
Like-
talking about off the grid living?
No, not necessarily off the grid. I just don't want to have to.
Oh, buy all your produce and everything?
Yeah. Like
Okay.
I want to be, able.
Did you
to,
ever mess with that? Because you're like, vegetarian or vegan. Did
Yeah.
you ever like grow your own food?
Oh, yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Then how do you not know?
What do you mean?
Out here,
Oh.
Yeah.
maybe not.
Right. I grew up in Fresno. It's the agriculture
Right.
center of
Right.
the world.
Oh.
So,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I didn't know that.
but
All right. Yeah.
I just looked up a recipe for mung bean
Mung
eggs.
bean eggs?
Yeah,
What's that?
like the mung,
Mung
bean,
beans?
the bean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this is what I want to ask
you
you.
can make eggs out of them.
This is what I
Oh,
wanted
really?
to ask you. Where is the place you can get your proteins? Because I need proteins. Where can I get?
To replace the meat
to replace
intake.
The meats. Because after a long day of basketball and boxing, I just want a ribeye. Just throw that ribeye onto the grill to get my protein. Right.
Yeah.
What can I substitute?
Yeah. What do you substitute your protein intake with?
Supplements. I do like protein.
Plant-based though.
Plant-based protein shakes and supplements.
That doesn't sound fun at all.
I mean,
tofu? No.
Not so much.
That's not a whole bunch of protein, no.
Brussels sprouts? No.
I think your proteins usually is like nuts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Legumes, right?
Legumes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to intake
Chickpeas.
a lot more to get your daily value. Or like he said, if you do the plant-based protein supplements, they're I'm sure they break it down to where it's a whole bunch.
Yep.
I'll just eat a bunch of eggs.
Eggs?
Yeah, eggs.
So vegan's not cool with the eggs though either, right?
No.
Okay.
Vegetarian is? No?
Yep.
Oh, vegetarians?
Yeah, you can have eggs.
Oh, I'm going to be vegetarian then. Vegetarian is a life to go.
Because I can't shake the cheese, man. That's the
Oh,
last
you still messing
final
with cheese?
frontier. I go vegan maybe 1 to 2 months out of the year.
Right.
But then I can't have meat, but I can do cheese.
Okay.
Fish.
You can do pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
Do that too.
Okay. There you go.
There's your protein back.
Protein, and you get the omega 3s too.
I think I'm gonna just be that pescatarian.
Do that.
Do it. Thespian.
Do it.
Let's make it.
Those are two different things.
We should take a quick break and then come back with market updates.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, and we want to shout out our sponsor, GFL Capital Mortgage.
Yay.
Thanks, man.
They're the greatest in the world. We'll be back.
Are you thinking about moving to Las Vegas? Here's what you need to know, because it's way more than just bright lights and casinos. On the Vegas Live podcast, we are going to break down the best neighborhoods for families, where to find the top-rated schools, and which communities fit your lifestyle, whether you're all about luxury or outdoor living or that high-rise city vibe. We got you covered. We got episodes packed with tips for first-time home buyers, inside info for the Vegas job market, and even a look at some of the coolest celebrity homes around.
Don't just take our word for it. Each week, we give you the full scoop on what makes Vegas an incredible place to live and the info you need to make the move.
So if you're ready to discover the real Vegas beyond the Strip, check out the Vegas Live podcast, available on all streaming platforms. Hit that link in the bio and start exploring.
Are we good? We are back to the Vegas Live Real Estate Podcast. I am Chris Cash. Hi.
A1 Alan Turner, the Rhythm Realtor.
Kevin Sherba, GFL Capital Mortgage.
Yes.
I made a funny face. Whatever.
How's the rhythm going over there? Is the rhythm good?
It's rhythm. How's the flowing going over there?
I stay flowing. If they don't be knowing, I'm straight showing. That's about it.
Shining light because I'm golden.
Oh, get up. Oh,
Killer.
Let's go. Kill it.
What?
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Alex.
Kev Love.
I just put it I'll do the whats
Kevy
and the
Kev.
O's.
Yeah, Kev
with the Bev.
So what's up with the market update? The real
It
estate
is booming.
booming.
We're on the come up.
It's booming.
On the come
It's
up.
booming. You got 5,265 homes available.
5,000.
Is that going
So
up
it's more.
or down?
It's going up.
So there's more homes.
There is
available.
more homes available.
People are putting their homes up on the market. Is that
More
How long are
variety
they
for
stay-
those buyers out there.
How long are they staying on the market right now on average?
About 37.
Okay, so that's going up too.
Yeah, 37 days on the
Yeah.
market from offer to closing. So
okay?
price your houses correctly. and
Very
you-
important.
We within that range. We got
important.
price reductions at 525. So price your homes correctly and
Yeah.
strategically.
Yeah.
Price reductions at 525 what?
Those are the
525
Those are-
total.
How many people
total
reduced?
listings they had to reduce? Okay,
had to reduce.
Okay,
Because y'all
Which
price it
actually is
right.
going down. So
Yeah.
it seems like the sellers are starting to be more strategic in pricing their homes. So
Yeah.
we're seeing a decrease. So they're not.
so overall, you think that
Overpricing
they're like pricing it fairly or coming onto the market without assume they're going to get top dollar right now?
Right.
Okay.
Hmm.
So
They might
obviously
be
we have
fact-
more.
they might be factoring interest rates too,
right,
and affordability. So.
Okay. And then we have more houses on the market right now due to it being January.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would just assume the time of year is helping, and it's staying on longer because we probably have less buyers because it's January.
Yeah.
No, actually, we're
more
at
buyers?
612 under contract right now, so that went up.
Okay. More people are buying, right?
Yep.
Under
And
contract.
new listings are also coming on the market at 713.
Looking like a healthy market.
Yeah, it is robust.
Robust. I like robust. It's very nice.
So, what is the median home price right now in Las Vegas?
475,000.
Yeah.
So it's been holding steady for the last few months.
All right.
Very nice. Very nice. Compare that to like California. It's probably like 850,
Right, double,
right?
maybe even
Around there.
Yeah, double that.
Right? So it's still affordable. You know, I have this inclination that Vegas is the place to be, you know? Is the place to be. It is the place to be. Most definitely.
Cuban B.
I've learned so much in Las Vegas. You know, one thing that I learned about in Vegas is the concept of money. You know, like, you know when people say, it's just money? I really didn't understand that concept till I moved to Vegas and I saw people with a lot of money and they were still miserable and stuff like that. So I just, like, yeah, you're right. It is just money. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean your happiness is about, and I was able to see that in Vegas just because you see so many players in the game, you know, spending money in the casinos when you go to the casinos. Also, like, you know, celebrities and stuff and famous people. I see them all the time when you go to the strip, when you go hang out at these places. Guess what? They're there too, just hanging out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just, it kind of, you know, twists my perception of, you know, different things.
Right.
Yeah, I think also to just with that mindset as well. It's a tool. It could be a vehicle.
Right.
So like having because they're able to spend money like that because they understand that, you know, the I don't know, not the meaning of it, but it's merely just a tool. They don't have any attachments to it.
Depending on how you think about it, right? You could have people that all they think about is money, right? I would think that, like, and I've heard this before, where people that have a whole bunch of money that have created wealth, business owners and stuff like that, it's your ability to let money go or to lose money or spend money is actually the way that you're going to make more, right?
Yeah.
So, like, investing obviously is you're taking risk with it.
Yeah.
Instead of just holding on to it and, you know, having a huge bank account, but like it just stays the same. You know?
And you're paying taxes on it,
right?
You know, like you're not. Yeah, being able to have what is it? What did Rockefeller say? You own nothing, right? What was it? Oh, I forget what he said.
You own nothing.
You own
nothing.
You own nothing. I forget.
That's not what we're trying to portray in this podcast.
No, but I mean, it's like
you're gonna die.
They putting things into trust,
right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's.
Gotcha.
I can't remember the saying right now, but we'll get to that later.
You know what it is? A person who works all day has no time to make money, bro.
I gotta look it up now.
That's the quote. That's the quote. A person that works all. With that being said, if you're busy working,
you're not spending money
and not having money make you your money. You know what I mean? Like, then you don't have time to make money, because there's different things between working and making money.
So own nothing, control everything. That's the quote.
Yeah, of course.
Just like that's what I just said. No, I'm just kidding.
It's a fundamental rule of asset protection that means you can't lose what you don't own.
Boom.
So that's why you would put things into trust.
Look at them.
Hey, we talk about new guests all the time, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if we have a master list or whatever, but we need a trust attorney too.
There we go. That's what we need. We're gonna put that. I got some questions for that person too, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Trust attorney. I think we talked about a real estate attorney.
Yeah.
We talked. What else did we talk about?
I know tax.
Tax.
Tax liens.
Business person to set up the businesses and stuff. For
LLCs for for investors.
I have somebody. That's a good idea.
Get them all.
Yeah, we're gonna get them all. We
want to pick their brain, because like we say we kind of guess it or know a little bit about each of those areas. I know that with trust we can put homes in a trust.
Yeah.
Right. Which the state of Nevada already has like the homestead for your primary home.
Yep.
It's not enough.
But you could also put it in a trust,
Yeah.
make it easier, like if you pass away, and you know,
Yeah.
as far as like inheritance and stuff like that.
And also life insurance.
Yeah.
Right.
Shout out to Debbie Smith at
Oh,
New
yeah.
York Life.
There you go.
There's also
Wow.
ways that you can use your life insurance policy to invest
Okay.
in things like houses.
Right.
and
So we
Yeah,
wanted to
all that
talk
stuff.
about talk about rent, because you've been dealing with a lot of rentals recently.
Yeah.
And how we talked about in the earlier segment that it's surprisingly it's harder to qualify for a rental in some cases,
Yeah,
depending
that's
on the owner
crazy.
of the home.
yeah.
And one of the big things was your security deposit,
Yeah.
right? The ones that you were looking at with these single family homes, it was like $2,500 in rent, right?
Yeah. Give or take.
And so that's already pretty much a mortgage payment.
Exactly.
And then depending on how it's structured and everything,
And
but
then the security deposit was averaging about $5,000 to $6,000.
right. So like
yeah.
2 months worth of rent plus, you
Yeah.
know, and that could be an earnest money deposit on a purchase.
Precisely.
Yeah, down payment.
About $480,000 home. At the average right now, that's
You
the
said it was
earnest money-
$475, right?
Yeah, that's an earnest money deposit.
Right.
So that's a good point to make, because before, like in the past, we would say your rent, your monthly rent is how much you would be paying for your mortgage. You know what I mean? That's not necessarily the case now, just because of the
Well, it depends, right?
interest
So-
rates, right?
right.
It's a
So
little difficult now.
It costs more on a monthly basis when you put purchasing a home side by side with rental. It does cost more on a monthly basis, but if you're taking into account what you're going to make on equity,
Right,
like
right.
what the average income is per year equity,
Right.
you're still in the green. It's just a matter
Okay.
of if you can afford it on a monthly basis with your budget.
Right.
So affording another, let's say $500 to $700 a month to own a home, and you're making, let's say, on average 10 to 15,000 a year, and that's on the low end with the average increase to equity, and having the security, it's well worth it. And then when you do the refinance, then it flips. Like we haven't got to that point yet with the market rates, right? Where once you do the refinance, you're going to be right there with market rent, if not lower.
Right.
And this is assuming that you have minimal down payment versus someone who has minimal money to put to a security deposit, right?
Yeah.
Once you do like a larger down payment, then you can make purchasing a home cheaper.
Because then at that point, the equity is built in.
Right. You're putting your own money as equity, basically as a savings account, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You buy a $500,000 house, you put $100,000 down. Now your mortgage is $400,000. You have your $100,000 sitting in that house. If you were to sell it, you get it back out.
Yeah.
But that removes the mortgage insurance, right? Because when you do minimal down, either FHA or conventional, you're gonna have MI. It reduces the interest rate because you have a better loan to value ratio.
Right.
So both those are payment savings, and then reduces the total amount,
Yeah.
which also reduces the payment savings, bringing it more in line with what you could rent that same house for.
And that makes a lot of sense, and you spoke about Rockefeller. Rockefeller was very meticulous on where the money is going. A lot of people, they don't care where the money's going. So if you're renting, the money is going not into your portfolio or
Yeah,
assets,
it's not that
you know
they
what I mean?
don't care. I mean, you have to, when you're living on your own, you're an independent adult, right?
Yeah.
You have to live somewhere,
Right.
Yeah.
right? You have to have shelter. So a lot of people will say, okay, well, I don't even think about the rent, right? Let's say I make $5,000 a month. My rent's $2,000. Technically, I make $3,000 a month. They just look at it like it's something I have to do, right?
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, I have to have a roof over my head and somewhere to live.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
So if you always are gonna need some place to stay,
Right.
wouldn't it be advantageous
To benefit
own?
from
Yeah,
it,
you
right?
know?
In the long term.
And also too, like, team up with, family members.
Yeah, see, that's the thing,
and,
yeah.
like, because you're gonna have roommates. Because in the scenario that I've just experienced, like, it's family. They're all family moving in the same place. So
Right.
if all three of you can combine your incomes, to pay rent,
If you can handle your family.
Oh, it's tough.
I'm just messing with you.
why wouldn't you see, what it takes to get an approval to purchase
Right.
Yeah.
and put your money together, put your minds together, and own.
And,
Yeah.
and in a lot of cases, when you're when you're when you have parents that might be able to help, right? If they're going to co-sign on a loan, they become co-owner of that house, right?
Okay, yeah.
And what we talked about earlier, we talked about trusts, right?
Yeah.
And inheritance and stuff like that. If they're living in a house, right, and you're supposed to inherit it as their child, right, but you need their help maybe to qualify for a new home, that could go into the same trust.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're just buying in their portfolio, it's an investment property, investing in their child. It's your primary.
Right.
And then
You're just a
you
trustee.
split it up the way that you want with the trust, right? So maybe you have a parent, you have two brothers, right? One brother has got his own home, he's got a great career, he's older, right? Then you got a younger brother that's just getting on his feet, right? That person needs mom and dad's help. So that particular house, as far as the trust is written up, is just his and the parents versus everybody else's.
Yeah.
So there's different ways to do it, and that's why I think having a trust attorney on
Yeah.
to talk about the benefits of that.
And the taxes too.
Yeah.
The tax shield
Right.
on that too.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it becomes a write-off for the parents in some way, right? They can share it. This is, again, we're not CPAs,
Right.
but they can share the write-off, or they can choose who gets the benefit for it.
Sweet. I'm excited to get a CPA on here and a tax guy and a business structuring guy, so we can go ahead and hash all these things out, baby.
Yeah.
Ready
I
to
think
make
that'd
some
be
moves.
very advantageous because also too, the baby boomers are getting up there as well, and
It's going to be a lot about inheritance.
exactly.
Ah.
So, yeah.
And,
So,
and
like,
when you
now's the
inherit
time.
money or homes, you're going to have a lot more people that hadn't bought because they didn't have their own means to do it. Unfortunately, boomers had a little bit more of a economy to work in, and things
Right.
got really expensive for like the Gen Zers, right?
We need their help. We need their support.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
what I mean.
So the future. What do you see in the near future?
Yeah, I see a lot of people seeing the same opportunity that we've got to experience over these 20 years of living here in Las Vegas, and really get see the opportunity, but also get the experience
Right.
of being here.
Absolutely.
I think inheritance listings is going to be on the rise.
Yeah.
Right.
I think
Especially in this area. I mean, it's may not help the Gen Zers because you have a lot of retirement neighborhoods.
Yep.
right.
But this is big. But you can buy those as investment properties.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think people teaming up, groups teaming up to purchase and invest.
Yeah.
I think that's going to increase as well.
Yeah. No,
I think
love it.
a lot of people are going to start seeing the opportunity, and stop saying, "Well, I wish I would have bought in 2025." Like,
Right.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
putting the plan together now with people that you love,
Yes.
know, and trust.
Love it.
Especially, getting a realtor that you know, love, and trust, like myself or Chris Cash,
Right.
and making a dream a reality.
Oh, you know what it is, man? I live this Vegas lifestyle and I love it. I live an amazing life. And I just want more people to come live this life with us.
Let me show you how I do it.
Let me show you. Just to let you know that Las Vegas is for sale.
Yes,
You
sir.
can buy a piece of this lifestyle, and I'm telling you, I love it. It's amazing. It is great.
I love that you love it.
It is fabulous. You know what I mean?
He's like,
He
let
just
me throw
lit
a
up.
whole bunch of positivity right at the end of this show.
I love it.
But
Anything else before we get up out of here, guys?
well, let me just do a quick update on the interest rates,
Yeah,
right?
It's always so daunting every time.
No. I'm not going to be negative. It actually got better in the end of the last, not hugely, but the direction of bonds. I think putting a prediction on it with the new administration, if the price of energy comes down and things work the way that it's planned to work over the next year, I think that we're going to see it slowly go down this year.
Okay.
Maybe back into the 6% range.
Yeah.
High sixes instead of high sixes to low sevens where it's
Yeah.
at right now. Perfect case scenario, we'd be at like high fives to low sixes. Like we get to like 5.75 to 6.25. That's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to have a lot of people jumping into the market.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
By the way, Trump demanded the rates to go down.
we'll see what happens.
That's our guy right there, man.
I mean, he was in real estate too, so
Yeah,
he knows,
exactly.
He knows our struggle.
See?
right.
See? Vegas Life Podcast.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom. We
I
out of
wonder
here.
if he'll get rid of the buyer's agent thing?
What?
The stuff that you guys just had?
No, I'm cool with that. That's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
It's fine.
He's like,
I'm cool with
actually,
it.
I like it.
I actually like it. You lock them in. You mine now, baby. You mine now, baby.
All right.
Vegas Live Podcast. We out of here.
We'll see you next week.
Peace. Buddha bless.